You have to sit down and write, not pre-edit, not pre-think of how it's going to turn out, not worry about how if anyone's going to like it or if you'll ever sell it. You have to like it. You have to please yourself, and that's tough. And the way I taught writing at New School University in New York for 12 years, and I told all my students the same, and several have had plays and books published because they followed the directions. You just keep writing and writing, and when you're finished with that, put it aside and then come back and start again. It's all about rewriting and rewriting. You might have 4 or 5 drafts of a book or even more, and then it begins to crystallize and gel, and you begin to see your focus. I advise students to go to the New York Times Book Review or the LA Book Review, and behind each, in the bestseller list, each book, there's what they call the franchise. It will say the Bible, the story of lunatics on the edge. In other words, in one short sentence, what your book is about. It's like my book, Palm Trees on the Hudson. My franchise for that, it's the true story of the mob, Judy Garland, and interior decorating, so that the public will have something to let, they'll remember that. They'll grab onto something, and they'll know whether or not they want to read the book. You have to keep all that in consideration. But I discovered something the other day, a miracle. I'm 10 years late, but not too late for your young writers. It's called Dragon Dictate. It's a wonderful system. I got it, I'm on my new book, which is the sequel to Taking Woodstock, called After Woodstock. And so I've been working on that for about 2 weeks, and I had 20 rough pages of the first draft. And it's a struggle remembering, it's a memoir, remembering my past, a lot of painful stuff, besides the humor, because I turn everything into humor when possible. It's the way I survive with it. But the Dragon Dictate is, they give you a microphone, a headpiece, and a disc you put in there, up it comes on the screen, and you've got a notepad, you have a blank document, and you talk your book. And as you're speaking, it comes out on the screen, it types it all up. Yes, there are problems, for example, TO and TWO, the dictate won't know the difference, so you have to go back and edit it later. But 95% of your story is on there. You go back and edit it later. So that's what I did, and in 1 week I had 165 pages. 2 weeks, I'm sorry. So now I'm resting a little bit, then I go back and I start, without the dictate, I just start in making corrections for typos or mismeanings. It doesn't always catch words. I use a lot of French because I worked in Paris, but it gets used to your voice and what you say. My partner's name was Andre. It had Andy, Antoine, it had a lot of names. Finally, I typed Andre several times. Now it automatically comes up Andre. So that could be resolved. It's a miracle of our times, and it's a way to really get to work in the book if you're good at speaking. A lot of writers are not. They prefer just typing. I did all my life typing, but I love talking. I'm used to it. I've been 30 years doing interviews around the world, so I'm used to speaking. But that's a wonderful invention for young writers.